Hi, I'm Daryl, and this is Daryl Talks About New Zealand. And this is a work of opinion, estimation, and speculation. I read an article recently where they talked about Toyota and Toyota warning of this concept, Electric Armageddon, and also GM was wasting money on building a battery factory in the United States, about $2.5 billion, something like that. But the article also thought that perhaps Toyota's going to miss the market. So this is my opinion. In order to make a lot of electric cars, you need batteries. So the main supply constraint of building electric cars is batteries. All the other parts of a car are made in car factories. We need the supply chain for batteries to be grown in order for there to be a lot of electric cars built. But seriously, for companies to sell new electric vehicles, they need to produce cars with 300 kilometer plus range at the price of ordinary cars. So in New Zealand, that's $25,000 for a Suzuki Swift or Toyota Yaris size car, and 32,000 New Zealand dollars for a Corolla or a Leaf. That's about half the price that a Leaf sells for new in Japan. Of course, there will always be people who will buy at a slightly higher price because they understand the running costs of driving an electric car is less than driving an equivalent gasoline car. I don't think there's any serious market for vehicles with batteries below 35 kilowatt hours. And as time goes by, that we might move that to no serious market for vehicles with batteries smaller than 45 kilowatt hours. Early vehicles, things like Nissan Leaf, they have small batteries, they're fine for every day just driving to work and errands, but they don't have the range to take a road trip, and they don't charge very fast. Even if you plug them into fast chargers, they're not amazingly quick to charge, not as fast as other more modern electric vehicles. I don't really see vehicles with less than 320 kilometers of range, or even that's 200 miles, to be even in consideration. If you're going down to buy a brand new ordinary car like a Toyota Corolla, who would want to buy one that could drive less than 320 kilometers on a charge? Most people who live in Western countries like New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and the United States, and even in Europe, take road trips, and so you have to have range for those trips you don't take often, and it has to be as convenient to drive that vehicle as driving a petrol vehicle. As I was saying, in New Zealand we got a boost in early adoption of electric vehicles because of cheap used Japanese imports. So we could buy the cars at about half the brand new price. So effectively Japan subsidizing cars in New Zealand, but that's not going to continue like that. And as other countries like Sri Lanka and Australia will be able to import used cars from Japan, New Zealand gets into this competitive market. And hence, once an electric car has gone through its first burst of depreciation, they don't actually depreciate that quick. Like I've had my car for 2.5 years, and I could sell it for almost the same price I bought it for, even though I've driven 50,000 kilometers in it. I think that in the future there will be a time where markets will have moved to electric vehicles, and any car company still making a lot of petrol vehicles at that time will get stuck with an unsold stock of cars that people don't demand. Like we've already seen that in Europe, they're starting to ban petrol and diesel vehicles in some cities, and they have dates set for that. So there's a point at which people just won't want to buy them. But I started off by talking about Toyota and GM. The interesting point is that GM is building a new battery factory in the United States, and Toyota has some agreements with a few other battery manufacturers to supply batteries, but it appeared to me as if it was a share of enough batteries to make 1 million cars, but Toyota makes close to 10 million cars per year. I actually think that GM's right. You have to own your own battery factories, just like Tesla does. And then your guaranteed supply so that you can make the cars as the demand increases. Thanks for watching and reading. My channel is Daryl Talks About New Zealand. Ask me questions in the comments and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't like the video. Thanks for watching.